Hello everyone, and welcome back to Semi-Controlled Chaos. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. A buddy of mine lent me their boots. They're all worn through and ugly because they're falling apart. This one, the thing's coming off the bottom, as you can see. So, I'm sure everyone's seen the videos at this point, but today we're going to attempt to fix them with Flex Seal and see what happens. So for this you're going to need a knife, at least semi-sharp, some gloves. I had two, but the other one fit because my hands are kind of sweaty from being out here in this lovely Florida heat. And a cardboard box to stop your renters from being mad that you got rubber paint on the ground, they can't get it off. So let's see, we'll start off with cutting away this crappy rubber. You can see it, like, hang on. There. You can see it here, just loosely flapping. That's how they get away with like making these boots so cheap. They just put in like a little rubber filament that doesn't actually last all that long. So you have to cut that out. It might take a while. I'm gonna have to do a jump cut or two because I'm gonna do this to all the boots. So BRB. Okay, so now that we have holes exposed, we can fill them in with the Flex Seal. And these, I don't know if how well you can see it, but like the sole is cracked, so we're going to try to fill that in. I imagine that eventually these will develop the same holes, but we'll get there when we get there. So let's see, any instructions? Directions. Green tire can, wear face and eye protection. Well, I got wear glasses, sure. I've got my gloves. Shake well. Alright, so clear all the other boots out of the way and your knife. Shake the can really, really well. And we'll see how all this works. Testing number one. Oh, it splatters a little bit. Be careful, be mindful of that. I'm gonna try to work it in a little bit. Yeah, try to get in there. Yeah, it looks a little uneven, so I'm gonna smear it a little bit to even it out. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Now, I don't know if this will make the boots super slick on like a wet surface, so be mindful of that if you're going to attempt this. This is the more like odd one. The other one's self-explanatory, you just fill in the holes. So we'll see how that that works. Fold it there, so we'll Alright, put that aside, and we'll go for the easy one, because all this is just fill in the holes. This one should be very self-explanatory. Just man, doing this and not have it splatter out is like really hard. Yeah, probably make sure if you're gonna do this, doing it well ventilated area, because I can already smell this. I'm not breathing it in as much as possible, but I can already smell it. Just filling into the oh. Gotta be patient, like Phil Swift says. You just gotta be careful, or you gotta be mindful. I just want to make sure it's not like filling into the boot. Oh shit, it is. Well, lesson learned. going to try to smear it evenly to clog up the holes. By the way, if it's not apparently clear, this is the first time I've ever used this, so I'm not entirely certain on its properties. I think what we need to do first is clog the holes with sealed Flex Seal, like let it dry. I bet it's getting in here. No, not terrible. Not too bad. Actually, that'll probably help keep the sole stuck down to the boot. These are like really cheap boots, by the by. This one should be better because it's not, I don't think the holes are as pronounced, so we'll go for this one. Alright, so we're gonna let that dry. Clog up the holes. And now we'll go for this one. This stuff is way thicker than you think it'd be. But I mean, I guess that's why they can build boats out of it, right? Alright, let's tuck these laces back in down in there. Put you down. Alright, let's check on the first boot. How long does it take to dry? It's still wet, but it's tacky. So I'm gonna commence to filling it in again. Should have brought a butter knife, actually. Alright, well, I'm going to leave those there, wash up my hands off a little bit, and we'll come back in a bit and see how it's doing. I forgot, I was going to try to fix this, so we'll spray some in there and then leave it. Yep, got some on the asphalt. Oh well, nothing we can do about it now. Alright, now we'll come back and check on it later. So, it's been a couple hours. This boot, I am fairly certain I can get back in working order. It's gonna look a little kludgy here and there, but I mean, it is what it is. These boots, you can see it's still cracking a little bit, but I think I figured out why. So it's cracking up and underneath, so I sprayed under there and it's still kind of tacky. It's been 3 hours. I assumed this stuff would dry in like half an hour, but no, apparently it takes like 2 to 3 hours, but it takes 24 hours for it to fully cure. So we might have a longer project on our hands than I initially forethought. Because I mean, like, I lift this up and all of this is like, I didn't know all this is like coming off. So it's like ripping away. This is like the problem child boot. It's like I've kind of got this tacked down now. If I pull apart too much, it's gonna rip apart. But it's starting to set. This one too. I feel like I just need to fill it full of more Flex Seal. I'm wondering how they made that boat at this point, to be honest with you. Because if they did, that boat must have taken them a week, if not much longer. So, I mean, I'm not doubting that it won't dry and be good. I'm just saying it's taking longer than I initially thought. And sorry about that. With a mess like this, you kind of have to do it outside. So the only place I have to do it is a parking lot, basically. I don't have a yard here. So what I'm going to attempt now, because I already had to move it up the stairs, as you can see, where we used to be down there, because it started raining, so I had to get the stuff out of the rain, because I didn't want it to wash away and make a mud puddle, essentially. So I'm going to throw some more at it and just kind of like say, hey, if it has to set for 24 hours, I might as well put as much of it as I need on it now, so as I can come back and it'll like be done. I did touch it up once in between filming just to like clog up the holes, because I figured out essentially what I was doing was pouring paint in a bowl with a hole in the bottom, because there's like 2, 3 holes I think down here. So I'm gonna spray all this real good, and I'm not sure when I'll come back and try to just do this again, but stay in touch, or stay tuned, and we'll figure out whether or not you can fix a pair of old, well, they're not even that old, a pair of new crummy boots with Flex Seal. At this point, I'm thinking I still can, but I'm thinking it's going to be a lot harder than it was before. So, stay tuned. Okay, so it is the next day. The boots seem to have finally, like the bottoms of them finally like closed up. And you can see the bottoms of them. So the spray has finally stopped like sinking into it. So we're gonna come back after, hopefully not another day, after this is all dried up, and we'll see what the end result is. Alright. Yeah. Alright, microphone's on. Alright, so I believe it's conclusion time. So it's a bit ugly, but here's the end result. I mean, at the end of the day, it did fill in the sole. It still has a little bit of ply to it. Like you can see, it's kind of deforming a little bit, so maybe add some more layers eventually. But I do feel as though if you kept up with this, you could actually fix these shoes. It's just getting to the point where this is taking 2 days longer than I expected it to begin with. Let's check these out. These are still kind of going, but I mean they're at least they're probably waterproof now, because the problem was the water is coming in through the bottom of the boot, through the sole being cracked like that whenever you like walk through a puddle. It's much the same with this one. This one, however, was the problem child. You can see there's still like some holes in it, but I think I'm most surprised with this one actually, because before the toe was like popping off, and here was popping off, but now it's secure. It's not perfect, but it works. So I'm going to call this little experiment about an 80% success, because I feel as though if I were to have known how Flex Seal worked prior, and maybe just spent more time doing this, the end product probably would have turned out a lot better. But for right now, this is doable. The shoes are fixed enough that my friend should be at least able to wear them a bit longer until they can get more money for shoes. So thank you all so much for joining me in this little project. Let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, etc. Maybe ideas on how I could have done this better, because I'd like to learn how to use the seal better, because it was splattering everywhere and it was kind of a mess, but regardless. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.